Hello and welcome to my unboxing and first look at their Custodes Caladius Grav-Tank Annihilator. I do have a Caladius Grav-Tank already, but I thought I'd get this one for a number of reasons. One, I missed out on it and wanted to add it to the collection. Secondly, I really like the turret on there. You know, the Arachnus blaze cannon, very decent weapon. And thirdly, if you've seen the Warhammer community website recently, you'll read that I call it beta, but I think for this I'll just call it beta. I've seen the beta rules for the Custodes, and in there it says, you know, other war gear options will be available. So I'm pretty sure they'll get round to letting you use most of your Forge World Custodian models in Warhammer 40k. So anyway, this model will cost you £85. It's in this box here. The normal Caladius Grav-Tank with me, so I'll just show you that towards the end of this unboxing. £85, it is a fair bit of money, you know, but it's kind of Sakaran size, a bit bigger than a Sakaran, and Sakarans are about £80 now, so, but yeah. Good to be back. Had a nice break. I've been making a daily video every day since sort of October time, and before that I've been releasing, 4 or 5 videos anyway a week, and I haven't had a week off since I started the channel back in 2012, so it's been 5.5 years coming in a way, but anyway, enough about me. Let's have a look at this tank. So this is from Forge World. It comes in one of these white Forge World boxes. There are going to be a lot more Custodian Guard videos, as I said probably like a week ago, coming to the channel. I'll be looking at the rest of my collection and going through the 40k rules and things. So let's unwrap this and have a look what you get. There you go. So Custodes Caladius Grav-Tank Annihilator. Yeah, it comes in this box. There we go. So you get this really nice instruction guide. That's what it will look like. And it's just quite straightforward, normal Caladius Grav-Tank build. And then you've got these heavy blaze cannons that go on there. It's similar to the blaze cannons on the Orion dropship, similar to the cannon on the Telemon Dreadnought, but they're much more powerful than the sort of smaller normal blaze cannons on the Coronis Grav-Tank. I thought I'd just start teaching you all if you're sort of kind of new to Custodian Guard and things, and they've just appeared on your radar over the past couple of months, thanks to sort of Games Workshop and their plastic kits that they've been releasing. So this is one of the nacelles, they call them. Looks like a nice sculpt. Yeah, I'm happy with that. There's very small amount of slippage there, just very small, not as bad as my other one. So this is, yeah, this is a good mould. So yeah, quite slimy obviously because of the releasing agent. With a model like this, again I'm sort of teaching you, but with a model like this, because it's all resin, it'll have releasing agent, which basically means it's easy for them to get it out of the mould. And what you should really do is just soak it in warm soapy water for a few hours or even overnight, and then scrub it with an old toothbrush and cold water just to get that releasing agent off. Because if you don't, well, it's going to be slipping all over the place when you glue it, but also if you go to spray it or paint it, the paint and the spray, they just won't stick to it, because the releasing agent is kind of like a barrier. So it's very important to get all of that off. So what I will do after this video is put it in some warm soapy water for a few hours, come back to it, scrub it off, and then cut off all the gates and all these sort of extra bits, and then tidy the model up, and then I'm on to construction. This is another nacelle. This one's actually a little bit worse, only a tiny bit. That's easily rectified. just with a scalpel and you know, a file. If you are filing this, just be careful. Wear a mask because the dust off this, it's not like your normal Games Workshop plastic dust. It is very harmful. It says so there, and I just know it from experience as well, that it's very, very fine, and it will not be very good for you if you inhale it. I mean, cutting it off the sprue and things and the gates is fine, but when you're filing it down, definitely wear some kind of mask just to give yourself a bit of protection, or do it in a large room or ventilated area, something like that. I mean, an extractor fan near it would be, yeah, ideal. But so this was checked by BM in May of last year, actually. So I think that's about the time it sort of came out. And then you get this base. And then this is the hull part. Yeah, a bit of slippage there, but that's fine because you won't see that, because the nacelle will just glue onto there. And the same there, again, that's fine. It'll glue onto it and you won't see it. You might see a little bit there though, and there, but that's easily rectified. It's very, very slimy. What I did on mine is I put a magnet in there. I put a big magnet in there. You can use a smaller one, just so you can magnetise the turret, so it's not wobbling about, so it's secure. It's a bit of a tighter fit, and you can move the turret around. And just for transport, you can take the turret off and, you know, store it separately if you wish. That's the underside. And then this is the bag of all the parts. You've got this, which is kind of like, you glue this onto the base and it just increases the surface area for which the stand, the rod, affixes. Now, I haven't glued mine at all, but I might do at some point. But yeah, you've got that on there to sort of glue and assemble. Then you've got the Lastrum bolt cannons, which are like, well, in the Horus Heresy rules at least, they're kind of like an AP3, so it's, yeah, they're pretty good. And they're just like its secondary weapon, along with the blaze cannons. Speaking of which, these look like the banks for them, the ammo banks. Fair bit of detail on there. And these must be part of them too, canisters. You've got a couple of thrusters, and then again, I think this is part of the weapon, large heavy blaze cannon. You've got a couple of, well, a few of these anti-gravitic plates. Oh, throwing them all over the place. They're just loose. I think they were attached onto there, but they've come off in the packaging, which is fine. So that's what those look like. Then you've got this again, I think that's part of the weapon. And then here are the two cannons, heavy blaze cannons. Essentially the same weapons that are built on the underside of the Orion dropship, the flying transport option, and yeah, assault gunship really for the Custodian Guard. The rear of the tank. Some more canisters for the weapons. These kind of, I want to say rods, but these are basically for the heavy blaze cannons for the sides, to give them that kind of rotary kind of look. So that's those. And then these are the two sort of shell armour pieces. That needs a bit of cleaning up, but very smooth, and basically the weapon itself will just fit in there. I really like this aesthetic, very kind of Eldar-esque as well, these smooth shapes, but yet still an Imperial feel to it with the kind of armour outlines. Yeah, lots of detail in there, that's great. I love the little exhaust fans as well. And we've also got a couple of fins. I think they go on the rear, so it's almost rear wheel drive in a way. Then you've got some more anti-gravitic plates. and then you've got kind of like the weapon mounting, the turret mounting for the underside, Lastron bolt cannons. So there you go, they're all the pieces. I'm lucky in the sense that I've got, here's one I sort of made earlier. This is the Caladius one with the Iliastus accelerator cannons. So it's going to look similar to that, but just with a different turret. And then, yeah, as you can see, I put a magnet on there, so you can magnetize it, and it's it's quite a strong one actually. But yeah, that's basically what it's going to look like. What I'm going to do now is go away and build this and get a review out to you for a Warhammer Wednesday. I'll go through the beta rules as well, you know, the 40k rules, as well as the Horus Heresy rules. So I hope you join me for that. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.